What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dell's Corner. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit more, and as you can tell from the little poster that I have right here, the little display, we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat very briefly. Briefly, I mean, anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. But I know that I am late to the party, and there was a specific reason why I'm late to the party. Multiple reasons going on in my life. I have made a video about that, kind of discussing what is going on, what's been up, and why I've been late on some things. But I specifically put this movie on the back burners because I was not sure what to expect from this movie. Yes, I did see the trailer just like everybody else, and I did get hyped about it just like everybody else when it first came out, and I was super excited for it. I was sitting there thinking, man, they are gonna do some justice for the Mortal Kombat game franchise and the old movies as well. You know, we're gonna get this fit. But if you happen to watch the movie, there was a bunch of feedback. Okay, there was very good feedback, there was really crappy feedback, and then there was a bunch that were in the middle. And for me, whenever I look at a game, whether it's a video or a game, whenever I look at a movie, I come out, I always go into it with fresh eyes. I always think, okay, this is going to be completely different from the last movie, or this is going to be a completely different iteration. This is a reboot, whatever that may be. They're going to try their best. So whenever I go into a new movie, my mind is automatically set to, I got to look at it from their perspective. And going into this movie, it was practically everything that I would been reading, everything that I've been listening to, watching, podcasts, all that stuff was pretty cut and dry. Pretty much all the individuals that were in the middle, I 100% agree with. It's not a great movie. It's not a bad movie. But I do have my own opinions about this movie, and that's something that I do want to discuss. As a whole, the Mortal Kombat movie, in my opinion, was severely rushed. If they have a lot more footage for this movie, they need to release it. Period. I don't care if it's a 2.5 to 3 hour movie. If you have more footage of this movie, you need to release it. Specifically because I felt that there was a lot cut out. You had given us a trailer that made me think, and thousands of people think, that you were going to come out with this fantastic game iteration and turn it into a movie. And on so many ways, you failed. There's so many things that are just questionable. There's so many things that I wanted more backstory on. There was so many things that I just didn't feel that needed to be in there. I don't want to say it's as bad as the Dragon Ball movie, because as we all know, the Dragon Ball movie is probably like one of the worst movies of all time. And that was supposed to be represented, or that was supposed to be based off of the Dragon Ball series. And I don't even want to get into that. But there were certain parts where I was sitting there and I was like, this kind of reminds me of Dragon Ball with all the changes that you ended up making. And in most cases, I do, looking back on it now, I do have to agree that the first 15 minutes, whatever they ended up releasing, where it was Scorpion and Sub-Zero, before they actually became Scorpion and Sub-Zero, their fight was very well done. Their backstories were very well done. And I thought after that 15-minute opening scene, I thought we were going to continue to get the same momentum. And as I went back to see how much time you guys had left in the movie, I was like, wait, the whole movie is an hour and 50 minutes. You're only giving me 2 hours. The problem is that most movies nowadays are starting to go above 2.5 hours, maybe 3, getting to that closer to that 3-hour range, because we need more backstory, we need more detail, we need more explanation, and there's so many things that I could point out that just did not make any sense. You had somebody who I don't remember from any of the games who ended up gaining the bloodline of Scorpion. He was a far descendant, and that's why he was born with the birthmark. And the only way to release Scorpion is to be able to sacrifice some of that blood, sacrifice some of the blood that he ended up having on that on his dagger, like what, on his kunai. What? That didn't make any sense to me. We didn't see Scorpion for the rest of the movie. I mean, flashbacks every now and then, kind of like flash scenes in and out. But that was the only way to release Scorpion. Sub-Zero was pretty fucking badass, I have to say. His costume, the way that he presented himself, a little bit too cocky, but in most cases, every individual fighter thinks that they're better than the other one. So I guess I can understand that, but too many close-ups on Sub-Zero. Like, I get it, you got those baby blue eyes, okay? I don't have to see them every 2 seconds. All right, I'm tired of looking at your face. As far as the choreography with the fight scenes, they were very well done. But again, as I had mentioned before, it was very rushed. Now, I don't know if it's because they had longer choreography scenes and they just decided to cut them, but I felt that there was a lot more released their powers, which, again, as far as I remember, Kano had a mechanical eye. It wasn't a power that he obtained, if I remember correctly. It was a literal machine built into his head that gave him the ability to be able to do that. But regardless, when everybody was able to gain their powers and they needed to end up fighting the other combatants who are trying to kill them, you immediately threw them into scenes without even showing how they got there. Yes, Raiden can teleport you. They clarified that Raiden can teleport you anywhere upon the realm in Outer World. He explained that. I get that. But there was no explanation in between. It just, like, how did you know where to send them? They didn't explain where each baddie was supposed to be at. And you were just magically teleported. Why didn't you just teleport them to Shang Tsung? That way they could just immediately take him out first. If all of his individuals, if all of his warriors, Shang Tsung's warriors, were separated, then you would have had to known that Shang Tsung was by himself. Clearly he's the problem. So then why didn't you just teleport them there? And Shang Tsung, on top of all that, in my opinion, was just a side character. Like, they tried to make him like, oh, this old powerful wizard, whatever, like he usually is. You know, the old movie and even the games made him look more badass than the POS that we got on this one. Like, I didn't even get to know the guy. But he's just, oh, I gotta take over the world. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? There wasn't any clear purpose. All that you wanted to do was take over Earthrealm. But for what reason? I didn't understand that. Cabal was pretty cool. Cabal was fucking dope. I gotta give them that. Liu Kang was such a bitch. Alright, their fight scene was dope, but Liu Kang is such a bitch. How are you gonna be able to say? I think he even stated, if I remember correctly, because it's still kind of fresh in my mind, but I could be wrong. Comment down below if I'm wrong. but he stated that his name was passed down from his ancestors. I don't know. Like, look, Kung Lao was pretty cool. Sonya was a side character till the end. The final fight scene between Scorpion and Sub-Zero was pretty cool, but then Scorpion had to have like fucking help. Like he had to double team. Like I said, all the choreography, all the CGI whenever it came to the fight scenes were fantastic. They were great. It's just, there's so many things. As you can tell, I have so many mixed feelings about a lot of stuff, and I don't want to be taking up everybody's time with this short video. I'm just, now at this point in time, I'm just nitpicking, because now as I'm going through the movie, I'm just like, this was wrong, this was wrong, this was wrong, this was wrong, this was wrong. Story was shit. If you really wanted to make a good movie, you should have been able to give us a 3-hour movie, 2.5, 3 hours. Or if you're going to give us a 2-hour movie, create a stable backstory, end it with a cliffhanger, and if the movie does well, then continue with movie 2 and continue to give us a story. Just like any other fucking movie. Just like any other movie. If there's a continuation, then please show us at the end, hey, this is what's going on. I mean, I'm getting nothing from this. I'm getting nothing because I just feel like you just tried to rush so much. And a movie, in most cases, movies are about stories because in a very short amount of time. And if you have to be able to make a second movie out of it and a third movie just to explain the final story at the very end, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, give us a cliffhanger. I would have been happy about that. You know, as long as it would have been badass. As long as you would have taken your time. As long as it didn't feel rushed. I mean, what? Liu Kang just showed up out of nowhere and just decided to throw a fireball at Kano just to be a douchebag? Like, it was just out of nowhere. It was out of nowhere. I know you didn't even really talk about. Well, no, they did, and it's supposed to be his power, right? It's supposed to be his power. And that was another stupid thing about the whole thing. The little birthmark symbol for Mortal Kombat. When you kill somebody, then that birthmark goes on to the other individual who ended up winning that fight. What the fuck? That means even if this was real life, that means if I killed one of their champions, that means I would be able to become part of Mortal Kombat. But then you know what that I mean, what the fuck? I mean, at least the first movie went about it properly. Hey, we're having a tournament and everybody's invited. If you want to participate, just know you might die. Okay, great. I'll participate because people were trying to go through Mortal Kombat because if I remember the old movie, there was like money involved. But I do remember, you know, Liu Kang was the main protagonist in the story, and obviously Shang Tsung was the antagonist. So many problems. I think I would have as far shit as much as I want to say that I would watch this movie compared to the second Mortal Kombat movie that was released back in the day, I think I would still watch the second one. And they completely fucked over Chameleon. Like, if they make a second one, please make it better. I mean, Goro didn't even last that long. Like, at least there was a small backstory to Goro in the old one. Like, he was the champion. Everybody would, like, when he came onto the stage, when he came in, when he started fighting, people would chant his name, and it was amazing. And then when Luke Cage had to get in there, Luke Cage? No. Johnny Cage. I'm sorry, Luke Cage. Johnny Cage. When Johnny Cage ended up fighting against Goro, it was just like, holy shit, I gotta fight the champion. And it turns out he's this four-armed monster. Right? It's it made it more epic. But in this one, he walked in to come in and help out Shang Tsung, and oh man, so many fucking problems. But regardless, as a whole, it was rushed. As a whole, choreography was good. Fighting choreography, that is. Acting was mediocre. I would not watch it again. I would not. And if there's extra footage, you need to release it. I'm sorry. It's like, okay, like I don't want to be that guy, because it's like, ever since the Snyder Cut was released, everybody's like, hey, release this cut and release that cut. Like, no, I'm just saying, just give us the whole movie. Just give us the whole movie. There's so much missing. I have so many questions, and if those were explained in the cutscenes, in the deleted scenes, please give it to us. Because this is not what I signed up for. This is not what I signed up for at all. I don't know. Leave your comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. Don't forget to check out all my additional social media down below, as I release more and more additional videos for y'all. More content. It has been a while. I had some Gaming with Deltron's videos that just recently released. And again, we have been talking about the collectible of the week. So up until next Friday, this will be up if you guys want to see some more displays of it. If you want me to kind of look it at, take it out a little bit more, which has already been open, so I don't mind reopening it again. I did not open it, just to be clear. Open it up, take some photos, do all types of stuff. I think that's all I got for you. Let me know what you think about this movie, because I'm very highly disappointed, and they could have done a better job. But either way, I love y'all. Y'all be safe, take care, and have a fantastic week. Deuces.